very simply, bring your attention to the experience of aliveness, however that manifests for you. It's coming home to the body, this miracle. And as you do that, adjusting your position such that you are sitting in a way that allows you to be alert and relaxed. That's the sweet spot of meditation. And I like to start my meditations with considering a couple things that I'm grateful for. So I invite you to bring your attention to one or two things that you're grateful for. As a way of brightening the heart and mind in preparation for meditation. So now bringing attention to this body again, and we'll offer some self-care, some self-compassion. So bringing attention to the forehead and inviting ease and relaxation there. A smoothing of the brow. A softening. And allowing that kind of tension to move into the eyes. The eyes that can rest for these few minutes. Inviting ease in the eyes and the sockets around the eyes. And allowing that careful attention to touch all the facial muscles, those muscles that have smiled today, maybe laughed, maybe frowned, maybe cried. Inviting ease and a softening in those muscles. And some people find it helpful in meditation to bring a slight smile onto the lips. Not like a Cheshire cat, but just enough so that you begin to feel the smile muscles engage, which in turn, we now know, secretes some positive fluids in the brain. It's a way of enhancing receptivity, opening. And bringing attention to the jaw structure. And if you notice that your jaw is clenched, gently unhinge the jaw. And moving that kind attention into the neck and shoulder region. Another area where many of us hold tension. And inviting a softening there. And feeling the neck and shoulders from the inside. Noticing the aliveness and the spaciousness. And inviting those shoulders to just let go a little more. And now extending that soft attention through both arms, the biceps, triceps, to the forearms and wrists. And feeling both the aliveness and volume of space in the arms. And for a moment or two, resting attention in the hands. Inviting a softening. Experiencing the energy in the hands. And now, moving that tender attention to the rib cage. Experiencing the front, the back, the sides of the rib cage. You might notice how it gently expands with the inhale and relaxes with the exhale. And extending that awareness to the interior of the rib cage. It might even manifest as a grateful awareness for the workings of the organs that are protected by the rib cage. They've served us well. Sometimes not perfectly, but well enough. Here we are. And allowing that attention to descend to the abdominal area and the small of the back. And inviting and allowing a softening of the belly as it rises and falls with each breath. allowing that kindly attention to move through the hips, the buttocks, and the genital. And now experiencing the aliveness of the legs. The hamstrings, quadriceps, calves, knees, the very marrow of the bones, the aliveness, the volume of space in the legs. The ankles and the feet. And spending a few extra moments resting attention in the feet, feeling the feet from the inside. Maybe even some gratitude there, all the miles they've carried us. And now taking some moments of self-compassion and bringing attention to any area in your body that has been wounded or that might be suffering in some way. And simply resting that kind attention there. Not trying to fix or change anything. Much like if a friend is hurting and you just show up. That's all you have to do. Now, it can be helpful for many meditators to find a home base or a comfortable place to rest attention. And the breath is often used. It's not mandatory, but it is something that's with us. And so you might choose to experience the full movement of the breath from where it enters the nostrils, fills the lungs and belly, and then exhales. Others may enjoy resting attention on that gentle rising and relaxing of the rib cage. Others may enjoy just resting attention at the point where the air enters the nostrils, experiencing it as it flows into and out of that entry point. Still others enjoy receiving and experiencing the breath at the belly as it rises and falls. And still others experience the breath as if they're breathing with the whole body through all the pores. So finding a place that's most comfortable to you. And simply resting attention there. Bringing attention close to the breath. Connecting. Much like a warm embrace. An appreciative, loving embrace of the breath that gives us life. Connecting, not too tight, but not too loose. And sustaining that connection the best that you are able. discover that your mind is off on a thought stream of planning, remembering, fantasizing, that's a very special moment because you've reawakened. You've awoken from the trance of thinking. So take some time and appreciate and notice the difference between being awake, being present, and how that compares to being lost in a story. And just reside there as long as you're comfortable, awake, alive, senses open. Taking your time. And then before returning to the object of your meditation, take a few moments and relax. Soften the face and shoulders. Self-care. And if a slight smile is supportive of your meditation, reinstall that smile. No hurry, all done without judgment. And then when you're ready, connecting again with your object and sustaining it the best that you are able. That tender connection. the last few minutes of our practice together, I invite you to let go of all technique, if you wish, and simply rest in awareness. And experiencing the rising and passing of various phenomena. Sensations in the body. Rise, flower, and pass. Thoughts. Arise, flower, and pass. Emotions. Arise, flower, and pass. All phenomena arising and passing. Not trying to grasp or hold. Not pushing away. Awake and allowing. And may the wholesome efforts and wholesome intentions of our practice together tonight, may those energies be combined with the wholesome energies of all contemplatives throughout time, those of the past, those in the present, and those of the future. And may those wholesome efforts and intentions serve the welfare, the happiness, and the freedom of all beings everywhere. Just a couple of comments, and I think this is the first time I'm teaching in 18. So I like to stress that moment of waking up. The mind is designed to think. That's what it does. It's part of our survival. That's why there's over 7 billion of us. We're scanning all the time, trying to line things up for our survival. We want to know whether it's safe. We want to know if we can kind of gather the resources we need. So that's what the mind does. And in a contemplative practice, we're slowing that down. There's now a recognition that so much of this planning, worrying, scanning will make us sick. So for thousands of years, there have been developed techniques for kind of slowing things down. And so when you wake up in your practice, pause. Notice how that's different than this constant chattering and planning and worrying that's going on in the mind. How just being awake, bright, is very different. And that's very restorative to the body, to the mind, to all our systems. And so hanging out in that space of wakefulness, wow. So it's not about, oh God, my mind is so crazy, I can't stay on my breath, or I can't. It doesn't matter. If your mind goes away 1,000,000 times, you get to wake up 1,000,000 times, you can experience that moment of wakefulness. And then, as a little act of self-compassion, if you take some moments and relax, don't rush, you don't have to rush back to your breath or whatever your object is. You can just chill, relax, take your time. Because when we're thinking, most forms of thought, we're creating tension in the mind. And if we just kind of grab ourselves and then stick ourselves back on the breath, we're just piling up that tension. And then we wonder, wow, I can't meditate for more than 10 minutes. I'm too freaked out. Well, those moments of waking up, just, wow, now I'm awake. This is amazing. This is so different. Now I'm going to offer some compassion and relax a little bit. And I'm going to start again. The mind goes away. You just do that again. Rinse and repeat. Easy does it, nice and gentle.